Welcome back to the deep dive. So if you're looking to get up to speed, and I mean really up to speed on how speculative crypto wealth connects with, well, real-world money, you are in the right place.
Definitely. Today, we're looking at a fascinating set of sources. They really show two extremes of the digital economy.
They really do. On one hand, you have this high-risk world of DeFi earnings. It's like a digital gold rush.
Yeah. Specifically, these things called interaction-based reward schemes. And then on the other hand, we have this super structured, almost corporate blueprint for the infrastructure you need to, actually spend that gold.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to put these two ideas right next to each other. We have to understand the speculative side, the huge potential payoff that's pulling everyone in.
But also the nuts and bolts, the payment technology, the rails that finally make crypto liquid and, practical.
Exactly. It's like moving from the thrill of finding digital gold to then building the entire city around it so you can actually use it. Okay, let's unpack this.
So where do we start?
We absolutely have to start where all the attention is.
Yeah.
Airdrop farming. The source material on this is so targeted, it taps right into that fear of missing out, that FOMO that just drives everything in DeFi right now.
It's a perfect case study. I mean, the source immediately brings up the ghost of the Arbitrum airdrop.
Oh, yeah. That was a huge one.
Huge. It was a landmark event where early users got these, life-changing amounts of crypto just for being active on the network.
For free, essentially.
Right. And that one success story is basically the engine for this whole market. The message is just so clear. Don't miss out again.
Okay, but let's be really clear about what this farming actually is. It's not passive income.
Not at all. The sources lay out a very specific strategy. It's all about interaction-based opportunities.
Which means what in practice?
It means you have to put in the time and the effort. And usually you have to commit some of your own money to do specific things, swapping tokens, bridging assets, lending.
So you're constantly making transactions. You're paying gas fees and locking up your funds, all in the hope of getting a much bigger reward down the line.
You're basically buying lottery tickets. But instead of cash, you're paying with your time and with transaction fees.
And for the protocol, the company, what's in it for them?
Oh, they get early adoption. They get to pump up their usage metrics, which, looks amazing to investors. It's a calculated risk for everyone involved.
And the source points to some specific ones for January 2026.
It does. It lists the top 5 interaction-based airdrop opportunities. And these are not random picks. They're all on newer layer 2s or on protocols that haven't released their token yet.
Okay, let's break that down for a second. Layer 2s, or L2s, those are the scaling solutions built on top of big blockchains like Ethereum, right, to make things faster and cheaper.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's pretty strategic. These new L2s, they desperately need users to prove that their technology actually works.
Before they launch their own coin.
Precisely. So they use these airdrops as a tool, a mechanism to bootstrap their entire ecosystem. And for the farmer, the goal is simple. Get in now for what the source calls a massive payday later.
And it's a high-stakes game. I mean, you could spend hundreds, maybe thousands in gas fees over months.
But if it hits, the payout can be enormous. And that just perfectly sums up the tension in crypto, doesn't it? The space is amazing at creating this potential digital wealth.
But historically, it's been terrible at making that wealth, usable, liquid.
Yeah.
You can't pay your rent with a handful of different speculative L2 tokens.
And that's the gap, that chasm between this huge digital windfall and a working bank account. And that brings us perfectly to the other side of our deep dive today, PintoPay.
Right, PintoPay. The source presents this as the next-gen service that's built to solve exactly that problem. It's the bridge.
It is. Their whole function is pretty simple on paper, but really complex to actually pull off. They let users spend their crypto just like it was cash for, everyday stuff.
And the key is that they're not trying to reinvent how people spend money.
No, not at all. They integrate directly with the systems you already use, Apple Pay, Google Pay, or just a physical card. And this whole thing is backed by a secure neobank infrastructure.
And that phrase right there, secure neobank infrastructure, that's the important part.
It's critical. It means they're handling all the boring, difficult stuff, the compliance, the security, the licensing that most crypto startups just want to avoid. That's their foundation.
So for the user, especially someone who just got a big airdrop, the benefit is immediate.
Totally. You can top up these cards instantly with your crypto or with regular money, with fiat.
Yeah.
And then they just work worldwide on the Visa and MasterCard networks.
And the source gives us some really specific numbers on the cost, which I think tells the story.
It really does. So for their main product, the virtual card for Apple and Google Pay, the standard fee is 25 USDT.
Okay, 25.
They're running a discount, a pretty big one. They've cut it down to just 12 USDT.
Wait, so that's more than half off. Why do that? Is that just a temporary promotion?
I think it's a strategic signal. In this world, in fintech, getting rid of friction is everything. They're making it as cheap and easy as possible to get on board. They want to grab market share fast.
Especially from the exact people we were just talking about, the airdrop farmers who are already used to spending small amounts on fees.
Exactly. And that price cut also applies to the deposit fees. The standard is 2%.
Right.
But for that same virtual card, they drop it to 1.5%.
And that 0.5% difference in the world of payment processing, that's actually huge.
It's massive. It tells you they're optimizing for high volume, frequent use. They'll take a smaller cut if it means you use their card for your coffee every day, not just for one big purchase.
So they are effectively standardizing crypto. They take your volatile asset, they instantly give it a stable value, and let you swipe it anywhere.
All through the existing financial pipes.
Yeah.
I mean, the brilliance is that PintoPay handles all the messy stuff in the background, the liquidation, the reporting. So for you, the user, it feels exactly like using your normal bank card.
Okay, so that's the user side, but here's where it gets really strategic, I think. Yeah. Let's shift away from the individual user and look at the B2B side, the business partnerships.
Yes, because PintoPay is clearly positioning itself as more than just an app. They're trying to be foundational infrastructure.
And we have the numbers to back that up. The source gives us their adoption metrics. What are we looking at?
Okay, so total users, 117,250.
Which is a good number, but what about active users?
Right, that's the real test. They report 38,000 monthly active users, MAU, and 12,500 daily active users, or DAU.
So those DAU and MAU numbers, they show people are actually using this. It's not just sitting on their phones. They're funding the cards and spending from them.
And their business growth is picking up speed. The source says they're doing 11 or more B2B integrations every single month.
11 a month. So they are actively getting other businesses to build on top of their platform. So what's the pitch? Why would another company, say a crypto exchange or a game, integrate PintoPay?
Well, PintoPay gives them the entire infrastructure in a box, the wallets, the software license, and they can put their own brand on it.
So they get to white label a whole financial service.
Instantly.
Right.
It turns their platform into a legitimate financial services hub almost overnight.
Yeah.
And the incentive is pure profit. The partner makes money on every card they issue and every time a user tops it up.
And the source even gives a forecast for that, right? A sample business case.
It does. It's based on a really simple assumption. Say you have 1,000 users and they each spend $1,000 a month.
Okay, so that's $1 million in volume.
$1 million in volume. And based on that, the partner's income is projected to be between 1 and 2% of that.
Which is $10,000 to $20,000 a month.
$10,000 to $20,000 a month. And that's not even counting commissions from the payment gateways themselves, which start at 3%.
Wow. So this isn't some tiny affiliate fee. This is a serious revenue stream. It allows a business to capture a piece of every single transaction their users make out in the real world.
It's a huge competitive advantage. But it does raise a question.
Go on.
If you're onboarding 11 new businesses a month all over the world, how do you handle the compliance? The regulations must be a nightmare.
That has to be the whole point of their neobank infrastructure, right? They centralize the headache.
Exactly. The partner brings the customers, but PintoPay handles the legal stuff required to play on Visa and MasterCard's turf. They're basically selling compliance as a service.
And that whole approach, selling the tech and the compliance, it leads to their two different integration models. This is where a potential partner has to make a big decision.
A very big decision. You have two choices. The API solution and the white label solution. And the costs and features are, well, they're a classic business trade-off.
Let's start with option one, the API solution. What's the cost?
$9,500. And this is really for projects that already have their own tech team, you know? They're already deep in fintech development. They probably have their own crypto wallets. They just need the engine.
So for that price, you get the API library and technical support. But it's only level 2 support.
Right. And for anyone listening, L2 support is the deep technical stuff, helping your engineers integrate the code, fixing bugs. It's not customer service for your end users.
And you don't get a user interface or any branding. It's just the raw technology that you have to build your own product around.
It requires a lot of work from your own team, a serious engineering lift.
Okay, then you have option 2, the white label solution,
Hmm.
and the price jumps.
Jumped significantly. $30,500. This is for the partner who wants a solution from the box. They want to go to market fast.
So what does that extra money buy you?
It buys you speed and simplicity. You get full support, both L1 and L2. So L1 is that basic customer help desk for your users, password resets, that kind of thing.
And you get the pre-built client interface with your own custom branding.
Plus a referral program built in and this really convenient admin panel for you to manage everything. They even throw in a Telegram mini app.
Which is a smart detail. It shows they know where these crypto communities actually live and talk.
So the choice is clear. If you have a big engineering team and you want total control, the $9,500 API is a great deal.
But if you value speed and want to avoid the massive cost of building your own compliant front end, then the $30,000 white label option is the way to go.
It is the textbook definition of a strategic trade-off. Pay less, but invest more of your own time. Or pay more for a turnkey solution. There's no single best answer.
And that idea of trade-offs, I think that brings this whole thing full circle, back to what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely. We've seen these two worlds just collide in our sources today. On one side, you have the wild speculation of airdrop farming in January 2026. This chase for a huge, unpredictable payday.
And on the other, you have the quiet, predictable, and highly measurable reality of the spending bridge PintoPay, with its real user metrics and its very clear B2B business model.
The volatility of the earnings really depends on the stability of the payment rails. That's the key balance. Understanding that every risky venture, eventually, has to connect to low-risk infrastructure to mean anything.
So for you, listening to this, here's something to think about as you move forward. We've seen both sides, the speculative DeFi earning and the complex infrastructure needed to make that money real. And we know the cost of that infrastructure for a business is either $9,500 or $30,000.
So here's the question. What happens to the future of DeFi adoption if the cost of building that stable, compliant bridge becomes cheaper and easier than the complex, risky effort it takes to win one of those massive airdrops?
If it's easier to build the bank than it is to find the treasure, where does the capital and the attention flow next?
Food for thought. Until next time.
Keep diving deep.